I came back even though I'm on the phone and I cannot share my screen. I don't know what's going on with my computer, but it will not hold on to, well, I don't think it's my computer. I think it's my Wi-Fi network. So I don't know. But I'm going to come on here, see if anybody comes on here, if y'all come back. I mean, I used to go live from my phone all the time, you know? So we might as well see. You know, we can take it old school and I can go live from the phone again, you know? So I'm back. I had a whole lot to talk about, you guys. And then all of a sudden, the Wi-Fi signal stopped working. So we're going to be old school. I used to go live all the time from my phone. So we'll try that again. We'll see if anybody comes back on. If you can hear me and see me, let me know. We will try this again. The man, can you hear me and see me? Let me know if we're back. Let me know. I'm going to be on the phone, you guys. The computer, I think it's my Wi-Fi signal. So we're just going to, you know, just do it like old school. Turn up the phone. Like old time's sake when I used to hop on here on the computer. I mean, on the phone until I started going live from the computer. So let's old school it. I can't share my screen, but I can talk to you. And y'all know I can talk, right? So let's see if we can do this. We can go for a little bit on this. I can answer questions. I can talk about auctions, foreclosures, all of the above. You know what I mean? We'll just do it old school. You know what I mean? So, and by old school, I mean on the phone, not on the computer. So, you guys, let me do a quick introduction real quick for people who are new here. Shout out to everybody who is new here. Let's do this introduction one more time, okay? So, my name's Ashley Pickens. You guys, I have been in real estate since 2006. I feel like I already said this before, but I got licensed in 2006 as a real estate agent. I've also been a real estate broker over an entire firm of people, over agents. And probably for the last 8 years at this point, gosh, it's been almost 7 or 8 years, I've been an auctioneer. Okay, so I auction off foreclosures at the courthouse. Welcome everybody. You know we was having some technical difficulties, but I'm coming to you from the phone. I cannot share my screen, but we can talk. We can talk. So depending on how long you've been here with me, y'all know I used to go live from my phone all the time. I used to go live all the time. So we will just do that again. So I auction off properties here in Shelby County, which is Memphis, all the way to Nashville and parts of Mississippi. So that is what I do. I'm an auctioneer. So you guys, let's jump in tonight. I was going to show you guys like some sites and try to give you a little tutorial on a couple of sites, but clearly that's not what I meant to do. So welcome everybody. Let me know where you're from. Make sure you can hear me, see me clearly. I'm not over here doing the robot and freezing up. Let me know if you can hear me and see me, and we can jump in, you guys. My throat is a little scratchy. So I guess it's probably because I've been talking all day. I've been cold calling all day, you guys. We should all be proud. I've been cold calling. I got my letters together. Shout out to everybody who got the letter bundles. We back. Lois from St. Louis. We are back. We are back. We're going to see how long this lasts. I am hopeful, right? I'm on the phone, so we're going to see if this works out. So let me know where you're from, you guys, and we can jump in. I did my letters already for today. Shout out to everybody who's got the letter bundles, pre-foreclosures, probate letter bundles. I hope y'all have been mailing. It is the end of the year. Y'all got to make some offers, right? It's the end of the year. Banks will get off of houses now. If you're looking for REO properties, y'all make some offers. Lowball the bank. The bank accepted an offer from me. It was a short sale, and they accepted $100,000 less than what the property is worth. So my point is, if you are making offers, if you're trying to do, if you want to buy an REO, a bank-owned property, you know, if you're reaching out to distressed homeowners, make some offers. You know what I mean? Make some offers is what I would say. And because it's the end of the year, banks have to get off of properties, you guys. So I would negotiate and lowball with the banks if I were you. That's my plan. That is my plan. So somebody asked me last night, what do I think Like, when do I think it's going to happen with the market? Everybody knows my plan. Let's get through November and December, and let's see what happens in 2025. That is my plan. Get through November, wink, wink, and, let's see what happens after November, you guys. So today I have been cold calling. I've done my letters. These go in the mail tomorrow. A couple of things. Auctions, that's what I was talking about. Next week, huge auction week in Georgia and Texas. For you, those of you who are new to the auction community, Georgia and Texas, the first Tuesday of the month is when they have auctions, okay? So if you're in Georgia or Texas, go to the courthouse the first Tuesday of the month, okay? And go to the auction. They are absolutely free. You do not have to pay to go to the auction. I know, like with car auctions, you have to have like a license and register. At the foreclosure auction, you guys, it's open to the public. You just go, okay? Open to the public. You don't have to pay to bid. You don't have to do that. At least not with me at the courthouse. You don't have to pay to bid. You do have to have certified funds. Certified funds, that means a cashier's check. That means cash. I prefer that you have a cashier's check. Do not bring me a duffel bag or a paper bag full of cash, right? Bring cashier's checks. Make them payable to yourself. Keep that in mind. Make the cashier's checks payable to yourself, okay? So if you win the property, you can turn it over, endorse the back. If you don't win the property, you can deposit it back into your bank account. So should I skip trace the homes that I can afford to make an offer to the seller? Then if they agree to work with me to do a deep dive into, so I won't waste time. So should I skip trace the homes that I can afford to make an offer to the seller? I think that just depends on, so that's not my method. I think that depends on your game plan. Like if you're just marketing to people, if you're just marketing the houses that you want, right? Just you're solely buying for your portfolio for you, then okay, right? But I think a lot of people on here are like, dare I say, wholesalers, agents, investors, you know what I mean? Who, if they got a property, they would sell it to somebody else, right? So my point is, you don't have to just you don't just have to skip trace houses that you can afford, because even the houses that you can't afford or the houses that you don't like, you can sell it to somebody else. You know what I mean? You can sell it to somebody else. You know what I mean? That's why I market at such a high level that I do, right? Because I feel like if you got a house, you probably gonna be able to find a buyer, right? Getting the house is the hard part. Finding a buyer is not usually. So I market to all of my foreclosures in my area, in my little radius. And then, yeah, I can keep the ones that I want to keep. And then the ones that I don't, I just sell them to somebody else. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. That makes sense. But if you are solely marketing for yourself, right? You're only looking for properties for you, then yes, you know what I mean? Then just skip trace the properties that you like. I will say that it is a numbers game. The more people that you market to, the better your results. You cast a big net, you're gonna get some fish, right? If you just go fishing for one or two, the odds might not be in your favor. You know what I mean? They could be. But you just have better results if you market to a lot of people, And that's what I do. Y'all, my voice is scratchy. Thank you, Von Che. Thank you. So I would say, hi, Ashley, would you explain where the overage on a foreclosure house comes from if they want to collect? Sure. So when we talk about overages, surplus funds, I know a lot of people start, like that's a new thing that people are doing, like overages and surplus. So first, let me explain. When a property goes up for auction, you guys, that opening bid is their loan balance. 9 times out of 10, the opening bid is their loan balance, okay? So Couple of examples, which I see now happening at the auction. If somebody bought 15 years ago, right, they got a ton of equity. I'm gonna give you an example about the lady yesterday. The lady, not the lady I talked about yesterday. Lady called me 10 o'clock in the morning and said, I got an auction at noon. Okay, we got to stop my auction at noon. Now, background on the lady. She bought back in, I don't know, 2015, 2014. She bought a long time ago. She bought her house for $250,000, right? $250,000. It's now 2024. Y'all, that lady house is worth $500,000. However, the opening bid is what her loan balance was, right? And her loan balance, well, I don't know, she must have refinanced it or whatever. The opening bid on that house was $200,000. $200,000. The house was worth $500,000, right? So it went up for auction. True story. I'm on the phone with the lady, right? And I'm like, that wasn't one of my auctions that day. So I'm texting the guys downtown because they're at the auction. I'm like, have they auctioned off? I gave the address. The guys downtown are like, we're waiting on it right now, right? Went up for auction. It's sold. So I think it's sold for maybe like, I'm gonna give you an example. Opening bid was $200,000. They bid it up to like $300,000, right? Because the house was worth $500,000. That difference, that $200,000 to $300,000, that $100,000 is the overage that she had. Those are surplus funds. The homeowner is entitled to those funds. Anything over the loan balance, once that debt has been cleared by the bank, right? After they sold it, they got their money. Anything over goes back to the homeowner if they request it. That $100,000, let me be very clear on that. The $100,000 minus any liens, any other people who might, be entitled to some of those funds, mechanic liens, judgments, they will pull from that overage too. But anything left, the homeowner is entitled to. Those overages, that money is referred to as overages, surplus, whatever. Anything over that opening bid that the house sold for. Makes sense? Does that make sense to everybody? If they want to collect. So they would reach out to the trustee, the foreclosure attorney. They should know who they are because they got some mail from them. The person who's sending them certified mail, telling them they're in foreclosure. If they have that public notice, that notice of sale, that notice of default, at the bottom of it, it usually shows the trustee. They can call them, but they have to call and request it and all that kind of stuff. They usually have to wait 30 days after the auction to request their excess funds. Boom. So that's how that works. I know a lot of people are working with that, like to help homeowners get their excess funds. I've heard about that. I'm not really familiar, but I've heard about that people are doing that right now. Did I explain that? I hope I explained that. What's explain where the overage on the foreclosure house come from if they want to collect? Okay, I hope that explained it. I'm not a wholesaler, so I got $50K, right? So if someone has a past due mortgage of $50K but valued at $100, then who I should target? You got $50K, right? So if someone has a past due mortgage but valued at, then who should I? I'm looking like this because you know me, I be trying to process the questions. You got $50K, but you want a house that's worth $100K, right? So who should you target? I guess, hold on, my brain must be going real slow tonight. Like my Wi-Fi. But I guess okay, so here's the thing. As I think back to your question, you've got to know how much they owe, right? You know what I mean? You got to know their loan balance. So the other thing is like, how are you going to figure out their loan balance? How do you know that their loan balance is $50K, right? Where are you going to get that information from? You know what I mean? So I guess if you're targeting a specific niche, you would have to target people, I don't know, whose house is worth $100K and less, or target people who bought some years ago. You know what I mean? you know what I mean? Like, I guess, okay, let me think this through. If I had 50K, right, and I was trying to buy something, keep in mind, if you talk to a homeowner before their house goes up for pre-foreclosure, yeah, so the opening, but yeah, you could buy a house for 50K. You know what I mean? The opening bid went to the auction. Yes. The other thing I'm thinking of, another way you can do that is keep in mind when you reach out to people who are in foreclosure, if you get them before they go to auction, that's like a typical sale, right? If you talk to somebody, you talk to the homeowner, at the auction, I'm the only one who requires cash. I'm the only one in the whole foreclosure process that requires cash at the auction. If you talk to the homeowner before the auction and work out a contract with them, you have 30 days. I mean, if y'all negotiate 30 days and you can get a loan. You know what I mean? You can use that 50K as a down payment or something like that. You can go traditional when you talk to the homeowner. And then if you go to the bank, because I'm the only one, if we think about this, the steps of foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, auction, REO, I'm the only step in the foreclosure process that requires cash. So if it becomes an REO property, you can use financing there too and use, that 50K as a deposit. Like if the loan is like a FHA and you got to put down 3.5, or a conventional and you got to put down 5%. You know what I mean? You can, right, that's what I'm saying. Go for somewhere where you don't have to spend all of your cash at one time, is what I would say. Pre-foreclosures, work out a deal with them. I guess if you don't mind getting a loan or something, like, all I'm saying is you can get financing in the pre-foreclosure phase and the REO phase. If it's an REO property with the bank, you can use financing. I'm the only part of the equation at the auction that requires cash. So if I had 50K, I would probably try to go that route, right? Or I'd find something that I could buy for like 25 or something like that, right? Something that's probably the route that I would go. I hope that makes sense. Opening bid, yeah. What does mean pertaining to foreclosure? What does null mean pertaining? What do you mean? Like, where did you see that? Give me some more context on that question. And yes, I would go to pre-foreclosures. I would, like I said, hop on PropStream. It's free. Filter it for pre-foreclosures. And target those people. Those are people who are behind on their mortgage, right? They probably have an auction scheduled or something like that. Definitely behind on their mortgage. And an auction date is probably coming up. You can talk to those people. If they want to sell, that's who I call, you guys. Where are my headphones? Hold on. Y'all know I'm about to transform. That's who I call. That's who I call all day. Pre-foreclosures. People who just got their foreclosure notice. People who have an auction scheduled. Because I know, it's kind of crazy because one of my ears is covered up. I know that I have to deal with the homeowner all the way up until the auction. The homeowner is the decision maker. So I reach out to pre-foreclosure. I reach out to homeowners that are in distress. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense to everybody? Hey, Jackie from Texas. Welcome. I hope that makes sense. So if you don't have cash, if I was someone who did not have a ton of cash, if I was just starting out, right, brand new investor, trying to get into real estate, right, that's what I would do. I would reach out to pre-foreclosures. I don't know. I would send them letters like I do. I would hop on the phone and call them and try to see if they want to sell their house before their auction, right? And like I tell y'all, I market to a huge number of people. I don't pick and choose what house I want. I don't really look at all that, right? I do the whole list. And the entire pre-foreclosure list, notice of defaults, I market to all of them, right? I cast a big net. It is a numbers game. The more people I reach, the more deals I can get. And if I don't want to keep them, I'm going to sell them to somebody else, okay? That's what I would do. And if you didn't have any money, then wholesale them, y'all. Wholesale them, stack you some cash until you can buy some of them. That is what I would do. Our holidays are a good time to prospect. So I'm going to say we can just kind of talk through this. So first of all, during December, I said this last night, December, they do a holiday moratorium. Banks will not foreclose on people starting, I think, mid-December through mid-January. It's a holiday moratorium. They won't foreclose on people with government-backed loans, okay? Private money will still get foreclosed on, stuff like that. But government-backed loans, they ain't gonna foreclose on them. A lot of people don't know that. However, you know, I feel like I know on the residential retail side of real estate, the holidays are a slow period. You know what I mean? People aren't really moving and selling during the holidays. But, however, yeah, my phone, I think my phone battery about to die. Would be about to, my battery might be about to die. That's okay, you guys. During the holidays, hey, you guys, I'm back though, right? Y'all, I'm back. Y'all, I'm back. I know, find the charger. Hold on, I'm gonna yell at my kid real quick to bring me the phone charger. Okay, you guys, I'm here. Again, just kind of bring me the phone charger. Okay, so, okay, you guys, I'm here. My daughter's getting the phone charger for me. So, my point was during, retail side, we slow down during the holidays. Maybe if you in foreclosure, you in foreclosure. You know what I mean? I still reach out. I know on the bank side, which is what I was saying, banks try to get off properties at the end of the year. So make offers. Y'all go on HUD, Home Store, Home Path, Home Steps. Start lowballing the bank and see if they start accepting some offers. You know what I mean? Yay, you guys. HUD, Home Store, Home Path, homesteps.com. Y'all start making some offers. I told y'all the bank accepted an offer $100,000 less than list price, than market price. They took $100,000 less. Banks try to get off these houses at the end of the year, you guys. So make some offers. Make some offers. When it comes to me, I work, thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
I work during the holidays is what I was gonna say. That I had to get my thoughts together. I work during the holidays. I mean, they in foreclosure, right? And I kind of let people know, once you come out of the holidays, it's 2025. A lot of these people have not paid in 4 and 5 years, you guys. The banks can't hold on much longer. You know what I mean? So look, they gonna have to sell or do something. Honestly, let's see if I can get this charging. Let's see if my computer will let me. Good. Okay, it's charging. But y'all, I can't hold it in charge. Hold on. Y'all, it's challenging today. I don't know why I'm having so many challenges, but we're gonna figure it out. So, okay, HUD Home Store, HUDHOME store. Somebody type it in in the little chat. HUDHomestore.com. HUDHomestore.com. Home Path, like home, HOMEPATH, homepath.com. And Home Steps, like home and some steps, homesteps.com. Those are all good REO sites that you can check out. Y'all start making some offers on them sites. Will a forbearance agreement stop a foreclosure? Yeah, they ain't gonna foreclose on you if you got your mortgage in forbearance. So if they have their mortgage in forbearance, I mean, they can still sell. They can sell in forbearance, but they won't foreclose on them in forbearance. So you can still work out a deal with the homeowner in forbearance, okay, if that makes sense. Still work out a deal. You can still work out a deal with somebody in bankruptcy. Work out a deal with them too. I'm so glad y'all decided to call. I'm holding the phone, but I would, if I can get it to stay. I don't know why my phone is being so disagreeable today with me. Boom, here we are. Okay, my hands are free because y'all know I talk with my hands. Okay, so how often do I pull that list? Every day. every day. I mail probably 3 times a week. I have to stay up to date on the list. If I miss 3 or 4 days, you guys, I'm gonna be working all, like, sometimes y'all see me in my stories and I got like a stack of envelopes this thick. It's because I missed some days and I got behind. I mail, I check it every day. At this point, that is just a part of my daily marketing activities. I pull the foreclosure list. I check the notice of default every single day. It's just, and I work them every day. Like I told y'all last night, my letter usually hits the same day they get their notice of default in the mail. Because when that public notice goes out, my letter go out too. So, it doesn't always work like that, but I do try to time it. I try not to get behind at all when it comes to letters. I've also started, like I said, I've started cold calling. Y'all, we have to be honest. We got to be honest. Even though none of us enjoy getting hung up on and cursed out and all that. But cold calling, it's there. When I talk to other investors, when I talk to other people, I mean, oh, I'm still here. The phone fell. But when I talk to, hey Mike from the Philippines, we already know you're somewhere. When I talk to other investors, they cold call. Now they might have VAs cold calling for them. You know, they hire people to cold call, but they cold calling. Y'all, everybody is. What do you do if they have a double mortgage? Been seeing that. Forgot what you said about that. Oh, so they got a first and a second mortgage sitting out there today. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. My computer won't even connect. So now I got my phone on the charger, you guys. So I can't set my phone up. It's just, you know, because the charging cord is hanging out the bottom of it. So I don't have like a, we're going to figure it out. And I'm not going to be on here long anyway. First and second mortgages, you just got to clear. So, okay, let's talk about this. At the auction, keep in mind, I don't want y'all to get confused on the phases. At the auction, you only want to buy the first mortgage. You don't want to buy the second mortgage at the auction. However, if you buy a property before it goes to auction, you guys, before it goes to auction, just know if they got a second mortgage sitting out there, they're gonna have to clear that, right? That's gonna come out of their proceeds. Okay, so if they say you only think maybe they only have one mortgage for like $50,000. So you're like, okay, I'm going to offer you $60,000. And then it pops up that they have a second mortgage out there for $5,000, right? They're going to take, when you go to closing, they're going to take the 50 and the 5 out of their money, right? So if they have any liens, I'm trying to make this clear so y'all understand. So you know when you go to auction, right? Once I say going once, going twice, sold, that clears the title, okay? That's how you can buy a property at the auction, usually with the title clear. If the property does not go up for auction, then everything on that title is on the title. Like I bought a property from a lady, and she didn't know she had like 3 HOA liens sitting on her house. She had to pay for that, right? Whatever she sold the house for, after she paid off her mortgage, those HOA liens came out of her money too. So if the house doesn't go up for auction, any liens, judgments, anything they got sitting out there is going, has got to be taken care of. So keep that in mind. So you asked me, so if you buy the property before it goes to auction and it's 2 liens sitting out there, that's just make sure your offer is big enough to cover, so they still feel like they're going to walk away with some money. You know what I mean? If not, they're going to pay off their liens in that second mortgage. You know what I mean? So sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like if somebody got a second mortgage, it's not going to make sense for them to sell it. There's no equity in it, nothing like that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people refinanced and pulled out all their equity. So the numbers just don't make sense, honestly. So yeah, I hope that made sense to everybody. After the auction, title is clear. Before the auction, it is not. Okay, so anything sitting on that title got to be taken care of. Okay, hope that makes sense. How do I find all the lingo like forbearance, etc.? I used AI, but it doesn't tell everything. The man, what? What is the question? How do I find all the lingo like forbearance? What do you mean? Help me. Help me. How do you find it? Like, I don't I don't know. Like, I don't know, like forbearance and like a script when you call people. Is that what you're asking me? Like, what's a script to call people? Is that what you're asking me? You know what I mean? I'm trying to translate. You know me. Um, I said I was gonna make some for y'all, right? I've been supposed to make some for y'all, like scripts for y'all for a long time. Um, I don't know. I guess I would ask ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT. You know what I mean? I would, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure like how, do some research on it. I would say that. I'll try to come up with some scripts for y'all. But he thinks he's asking, how do you find out if the person is that what you're asking me? Or how do you, I thought you were saying like when you were cold calling and like when you talk to people and like, are you in forbearance? Have you filed bankruptcy? That's what I thought. Or you won't know if somebody's in forbearance until you talk to them. If that's what he's asking, how do you find out if you don't know until you ask them. You know what I mean? You don't know if they filed bankruptcy. You don't know if they're in forbearance. You know what I mean? You don't know if they're doing a modification. You don't know any of that until you get on the phone with them and ask them, right? And so when I get on the phone with people, I usually just say, I told y'all what I say when I get on the phone with people. I say, hey, I help people, hey, I help homeowners that might be behind on their mortgage. I always say in the first couple of sentences, have you been able to get your auction postponed? Right? I asked that like off the bat. Were you able to get your auction postponed? It's something like that. And then a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to file bankruptcy or I'm going to do this. So, you won't know. It's nowhere. You can look on the county records and deeds and see if somebody did a modification. Like it'll show MOD for modification, but you're not going to know if their loan is in forbearance. Like that's not, public knowledge. You know what I mean? You just have to ask them for that, honestly. What else was I going to say? Y'all think about like auctions that are scheduled for December or the end of November. Those are technically kind of like pre-foreclosures. Now, I'm not going to say pre-foreclosures, but those are people you can call. Their auction isn't scheduled until December, you guys. You got like 2 months. He's asking, how do you talk the language to ChatGPT to give him? Oh, is that what he... We all trying to figure out what the question is. I guess I would just say, ChatGPT, give me a script to ask if somebody's, ChatGPT, just say script for cold calling people in foreclosure and in case they're in forbearance, right? Or what if they say they're in forbearance? Baby, ChatGPT will tell you. They'll tell you, But usually, let me say this. If a homeowner is in forbearance, they're probably not going to pop up on your foreclosure list. When you're pulling pre-foreclosures, when you're pulling auctions, people in forbearance aren't going to pop up on that list. If I knew the answer to that question, we probably wouldn't be sitting here on this live tonight, But like I was saying, if they're in forbearance, right, they're not going to pop up on a pre-foreclosure list or any auction list like that because they're in forbearance. You know what I mean? If they're going through a modification, they're probably not going to be on a pre-foreclosure list. They might be, but usually they're not, especially not in forbearance. So, but definitely in the new year, we'll start seeing like veteran loans pop up. I've already started seeing they've scheduled auctions for like January 9th. I'm seeing January 12th already. Auctions are already being scheduled for January. Already. you guys. And I know it's going to be a lot of veterans, which I hate for that to happen. Because, you know, veterans stop foreclosures through 2024. You cannot foreclose on a VA loan through 2024. So that means probably these VA loans are going to start being pushed out in 2025. Keep that in mind. If a homeowner is in pre-foreclosure and you take over the mortgage payments, does my name go on the title or am I just taking over the deed? Look, if you take over somebody's payments, if you catch them up and take over their payments, you better put your name on that deed. Put your name on the deed, right? That would be a requirement. I think when you do like subject to and all that kind of stuff, put your name on the deed and you be like, give me the login information to the mortgage company. Because at this point, you lost your trust. Your trust has been lost. So if you taking over somebody's payments, get your name on that deed. That's just what I would do. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert when it comes to subject to and all that kind of stuff. If I was taking over somebody's payments, my name gonna go on that deed. Okay, my name's going on the deed. I'm getting the login information to the bank so I can log in and make sure the payment is getting paid. That's personally what I would do. You know what I mean? Yeah, VA loan is a great loan. What's the difference between forbearance and modification? So forbearance means they don't have to pay at all, right? They can call, and like when COVID hit, people had like a 16-month forbearance, 18-month forbearance. It just means they're pausing your payments. They still charging you interest and all that kind of stuff, but you don't have to pay. Like the moratorium, that moratorium that we were under during COVID and people did not have to pay their mortgage. That was like a forbearance, right? They did not have to pay anything. Modification is when modification is basically they're restructuring your loan, right? They're going to either lower your interest, they'll lower your payment. They might extend the term of your loan just to make your payment more affordable. In a modification, it's a process. You got to fill out paperwork. They make you do an application. They want to see what happened in your, like your money, your income to why you can't pay that original term. So modification is just they're modifying your loan. Again, they might lower your interest rate. They might lower your payment. They might extend the term of your loan from 30 to 40 years. You know what I mean? But just keep in mind, if you get a modification, you still got to pay them. You still have to pay them. So that's what a modification is. Forbearance is they just put a pause on your payments for a certain amount of time. Make sense? I need to look up the definitions. Yes, for sure. For sure. Just teach, you can ask ChatGPT. Modification, that's a popular term. Forbearance, people refinance. You know what I mean? That's a popular term that people do when it comes to foreclosures and mortgages and that kind of stuff. I saw a remodification document that extended out to two. You know what I mean? And I never try to be insensitive to people in their situations. You know what I mean? I guess if they extended the loan out to 2065, they lowered that monthly, like a car, right? The longer your years you pay, the smaller your car note is, right? The longer your term is, the lower your payment is. But I mean, golly, when they tack that interest on, you probably paid for that house like 17 times. You know what I mean? So I don't know. They do all kinds of things. And we'll see what the banks do, right? They might take everybody's, I don't know though, y'all. I was about to say they might take everybody's past due amount and put it on the back of their loan. But I mean, that's not going to give the banks money to survive if they just take the payment, whatever people owe and put it on the back of their loan. That's not going to help banks. You know what I mean? And banks need help right now. Banks need help right now. So it's what I keep thinking, like, how can they solve this problem of like 5 to 10 million people being behind on their mortgage? How can they solve that problem? I mean, I guess unless what they gonna do? Pay everybody mortgage? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Like I hear different scenarios, right? Like taking people's past due and putting it on the back of their loan. But that's not going to help the bank. That's not going to help the bank. Right? So I guess they could just bail out banks again, right? They could bail out banks. Did y'all see my video today on commercial foreclosures? Um, Commercial foreclosures were up in September. California has like 246 commercial foreclosures. What were the top five? Is Pennsylvania, Texas, Florida, California, and New York. Top five commercial foreclosures on the rise in those states. Um, yeah, they've been saying like it's gonna be like a ton more banks collapse in the new year. I mean, between commercial real estate and people not being able to pay their mortgage, banks can't hold on. Y'all saw when they extended the VA loans, when they said no VA foreclosures for 2024. The head of the VA department came out and was like, we agree, but who gonna pay us? Right? Even the VA admin was like, who gonna pay? Like, we can't, y'all keep putting everybody loan in forbearance and stopping foreclosures, but we need money to survive. Even the VA was like, who gonna pay us? So everybody hurting. You know what I mean? I looked at a commercial property bank, said no seller asking too much. I have to buy. Okay, these banks ain't trying to lend on commercial right now. They are not. So y'all know most commercial loans. This is why we've got why commercial real estate is such a hot topic right now. Most commercial loans are for like 5 years, 5 to 7 years is the typical term for a commercial loan. So if you got a commercial loan, I think 5 years ago, that was like 2019, 2020, everybody was getting commercial properties. COVID hit, everybody left the office, went home. All these buildings are vacant. Commercial properties get their value from people being inside of them, renting them out. You know what I mean? Stores, think about commercial office fronts. That's where they get their value, right? From the rent income that's coming in, from the businesses that are bringing money in. If there's no money going into the office building or the commercial building, it's not worth anything, right? So now all these loans are coming due. Again, most commercial loans are like usually like they have like a 5 to I think 7-year term. All those loans from 2019 are coming due now and next year. What is it, like $800 billion? $824 billion, I think it is, coming due in commercial. And these banks, and so usually what happens after your loan comes due commercial, they'll refinance it and give you a longer term or all that kind of stuff. They'll refinance it again. These banks are saying, no, y'all ain't got everybody at home. Everybody working from home. We're not going to refinance your loan. You need to pay it. And these companies are saying, we don't have the money to pay it. Nobody, you know what I mean? And so that's why all these big portfolios, all these big commercial portfolios are going into foreclosure. Everybody went home and they not coming back. So, thanks you guys. So that's where commercial gets their value from, having like malls, office buildings, all that. You get value from the rentals, the people who are in it, the stores that are in it. If there's nobody in it, your building isn't worth anything. There goes all your equity, all your value. And a bank is not going to refinance an empty commercial building. So a lot of these big heavy hitter portfolios are going into foreclosure. It was a big one that just went in for, I think they were out of New York. They had properties in New York and Florida, filed foreclosure, their whole portfolio. So that's why everybody's watching commercial. Also, fun fact, I think they said like 70% of commercial loans are held in local banks. These smaller banks hold a ton of these commercial loans. If commercial tank, there go to banks. So a lot of these banks shaky. You know what I mean? When we saw Republic and Silicon Valley get shaky, all of us were like, hold on. Not my coins, so that's where everybody's like looking out for like a run on the bank, because now it's 2024. A run on the bank doesn't look like doesn't look like 1924. A run on the bank in 1924 meant everybody goes to the bank, pull their money out, wait in line. a run on the bank in 2024 means I can get on my phone and transfer money out of my account, right? It's a total different run on a bank now, right? People can hit a couple buttons and pull their money. So, we're just going to see what happens with commercial. You know what I mean? In the real estate market. It's a perfect storm. Let's say that. It is definitely a recipe for a perfect storm going on, right? Between commercial, homeowners not paying their mortgage. We gonna see what's gonna happen, y'all. I'm just puzzled because I just got back in the country earlier this month. Commercial is booming, big especially in the mall Asia and Europe, but in America it's feeling, yeah, malls, like I feel like, y'all, and I have to be honest, like one of our huge malls closed here, and I was like, gosh. But then when I thought about it, I was like, when's the last time I went to a mall? Let me just be honest. I can't think of the last time I went to the mall. I literally order everything off Amazon, Target. Like, I don't remember the last time I went to a mall, right? And then office buildings, everybody work from home at this point. You know what I mean? When I go to the mall now, they were saying that's how you know when a mall is about to die, when it's like, when like all the little government offices open in the mall. It's like, where's the tag place? Where do you get your vehicle registration? In the mall? That's when malls are like dying, when they got the government offices in there. So, I'm scared to buy rental properties because people losing jobs. You just have to. I think when it comes to rentals, for me, like, first of all, let me disclaimer on this. I'm gonna pull this charger out. We're gonna see how long it lasts. I'll put it back in. Hold on. Okay, because I'm tired of holding it, you guys. Okay, so when it comes to investment properties, investors, rentals, whatever, I think you play your game. Everybody has a different end game plan that they play. I've been in real estate almost 20 years, right? So when it comes to investors, I have different tiers of investors, right? I've got some investors that you call the bottom feeders, right? Bottom feeders buy those hood houses, those boarded up houses, the bottom feeders, right? That's their niche, right? They buy them for cheap. They can probably fix them up, put some rentals in it. Boom. That's their lane, right? I know who I can send those properties to. Then you have, because they got that rating, like A class properties, B, C, D, right? So I think when it comes to rentals, for me, right, I'm for sure not no bottom feeder. Let me say that. Like, no shade. If I get one, I'll probably flip it to an investor who is. That's just not my lane, right? I like the B neighborhoods, A, B neighborhoods, some good, strong rental prices, right? Good school districts, good job kind of people. Now, however, let's not act like Section 8 isn't a thing, right? You can do Section 8. They pay, right? They can be anywhere, Section 8. That's that guaranteed money. Section 8, kept a lot of people afloat during COVID when people couldn't pay. The Section 8 people was getting their money. So you just got to figure out your strategy, what works for you. When it comes to me and rental properties, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Just send me my money, right? I don't need anybody calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't do nothing for you at 4 o'clock in the morning. If your air go out, if a pipe bursts, I can't help you at 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't even call me, right? That's what my property manager does, right? Just send me my money each month. That's the kind of investor that I am. I'm just being completely honest with you, right? I like direct deposit, convenience, boom. That's me. That's my life, right? A lot of people, but I feel like if you're starting off as an investor, there's nothing wrong with understanding how the process works. I think people should do that as well, right? Because property management can play you. They can play right in your face, right? If you don't know how much air conditioning costs, if you don't know how much this costs to get something painted, to get a toilet fixed, they can play in your face, right? And tell you it's going to cost $300 and it's really $75. So I do think you need some kind of knowledge when it comes to rentals, right? Vet property managers like you vet your rental people, right? But I said all that to say, I think it depends on the rental. Like, I mean, nothing is going to be smooth sailing, perfect rainbows and pink starburst. But I'm not buying like in the hood of the hood, right? You know what I mean? I like a good B neighborhood, good schools. Y'all got some jobs. You know what I mean? I like elderly people, right? Who can pay, who get a check, and who want to pay, right? Like I like those kind of neighborhoods. That's just me. But that's my thing. Every investor, you figure out what works for you. You can be Section 8. You can be an AB, kind of investor. You can be a bottom feeder. Do what works for you. That's all I'm going to say. Right? And I think, look, and it depends on where you live because every place is not a good rental city. Right? I live in Memphis. I live in the #1 rental city, like in the country. The Wall Street Journal ranked Memphis like the #1 investors playground. If y'all did not know that. 60% of our city rents. 60%. 0% of our city rents. So we have a huge rental market. And our real estate is cheaper than probably everybody else per square footage. Now, I live in Memphis, so crime can be ridiculous, right? But our real estate prices are cheaper than most places. You know what I mean? You can get like a house for $60,000 or $70,000 and rent it out for $1,200, $1,500, $1,600, $1,800. You know what I mean? So it's just a trade-off here. But it just depends. Know your game, know your end game, know your long game. If you're doing rentals, that's what residual money, you know what I mean? You playing the long game. If you're flipping, that's capital gains, right? You're playing the short game, right? So just know your game plan, right? When it comes to real estate, is what I would say. And every market is not investor friendly. Like I wouldn't buy in New York. New York, y'all ain't got no investor friendly laws, right? But you just work with what's best for you. If you don't want to manage it, get a property manager, but definitely vet them. Vet your property managers for sure, because they will play in your face. So yes. So you guys, what else did I want to do? Did I have anything else I was supposed to answer questions on? PropWire is a great site. PropWire. PropWire. You can pull pre-foreclosures on PropWire. You can skip trace for 10 cents. And once you skip trace, then what do? You call them, or you can mail them. Every time I put this on, I feel like I'm like about to take your order. Like, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to say. Thanks for, I don't know, who's Chick-fil-A, the nicest one. What they say when you pull in? Thanks for coming to Chick-fil-A. Can I have a name for your order? McDonald's is just, go ahead. You can pull up. You know what I mean? So that's, I do look like a pro. Is that what I look like? I'm not. A lady hung up on me today. She sure hung up on me. As soon as I said anything, I can't even remember what I said. I think I said foreclosure or something. And she said, click up. Do. I said, okay, that's cool. On to the next. The goal is 25 to 30 properties every day. 25 to 30 calls a day. Like I said, I don't be sounding like a bill collector. Some of them have to figure out who I am. Because I'd be like, hey, this is Ashley. Can I speak to Michael? And they'd be like, who? Ashley. What was I going to say? Is there a difference in PropWire and PropStream? It's a $99 difference. A $99 difference. PropStream is $99 a month. PropWire is free. Free with the FREE. PropWire is free. PropStream is $99. So definitely a difference. It's like their ice cream. That's wrong. So yes, check out PropWire. I've used both. I've been on PropStream and PropWire. I feel like for what I do, which is really just pulling pre-foreclosures and skip tracing, it does exactly what I need it to do. Now, if you're trying to do something else other than that, I don't know. But PropWire works for me. Let me say that. So just know that I got my letters ready to go out tomorrow. I'm going to cold call again tomorrow. You just have to do it. You guys, you just have, sometimes you just got to be delusional. If they hang up on you, they hang up on you, right? I'm just here to offer some help. I'm just here to offer you some assistance and see if I can save your house from the auction, right? That's all I'm here to do. Mildred hung up on me the other day, and I know it was her. She said I had the wrong number. Mildred, I know that was you. But that's cool. I hope you got your auction postponed. That's all I was calling to do. So, you guys, yeah, check out PropStream. Colette, how are you? PropStream. What else are some other sites? I'll have to send y'all some other sites. Maybe one day my Wi-Fi will work and I can share my screen again and it'll be just like old times again. But until then, you guys, we'll figure it out. But it's the end of the year. I think we got like 67 days left in the year, 64 days. Y'all get on the phones, go to those websites, make some offers, lowball the bank, do what you have to do. We've all heard the word no before. We'll get over it. You know what I mean? You'll get over it. If they hang up the phone, just let them hang up the phone, right? If they say I'm not interested, say, okay, thanks. Just making sure. Call me if you need me. That's what I say. Well, okay, call me if you need me. What was the HUD site? Okay, HUD home store. Look at me. I'm trying to find like a piece of paper I can write on. HUD, y'all type it in the chat for me. Somebody type it in the chat. HUD home store, HUD. Y'all, I'm going to write it down. Look, I'm going to write it down. It's probably going to be backwards because when I put it up, it's going to be backwards. HUD home store, HUD. You know when you have to sound out the letters, HUD. H as in horse. There it is. Thank you. HUDhomestore.com. There it is. HUD home store. Home path. HOME. Y'all know I'm a little country. HOME path. PATH. Like a path that you walk on. Homepath.com. HUD home store. Home path. Home steps. Home steps. Home steps that you walk on. Homesteps.com. The VAREO site is V as in Victor. Y'all know how you have to say the name, the letter in the name. V as in Victor. Let me say it and then I'll spell it. VRMproperties.com. V as in Victor. R as in Robert. M as in mind your own business. VRM properties. Properties as in PROP. Properties.com. That's the VAREO site. VRM properties. Truest site, I think it's truestreo.com. Put in REO Truist Bank, and I think it's truestreo.com. Wells Fargo has their own REO site. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Truist all have their own REO site. Okay, everybody? Bank of America, Truist, and Wells Fargo all have their own REO site. Make some offers, lowball them. Ask for everything. If you are buying REO property from the bank, it's the bank. Negotiate, lowball them. Ask for appliances. Ask for an allowance. Ask for closing costs. Ask for everything. Ask for everything. Okay? When you deal with the bank. Y'all are so funny. Okay. So I'm on PropWire right now. I have to look for auction dates. So make sure it's coming up, then skip trace. If you're on PropWire, do pre-foreclosures. You can filter it under leads. Put in your county. Thank you. Thank you. And you don't stop, yo. Thank you. If you're on PropWire, put in the county, wherever you live, and under leads, scroll down to pre-foreclosures. Scroll down to pre-foreclosures. Boom. You can save that whole list, and then you can skip trace it. You can skip trace that whole list, right? And it will give you all of that information. Look, I'm going to try it real quick on my computer and see if it works. Hopefully we don't all get disconnected. If we all get disconnected, y'all have a good night. Let me see if I can pull it up. And then I'll show it on my... Is it going to work? And then I'm going to put the phone. I'm going to face the phone to the computer. We being real ratchet. It's not working. It says I'm not connected to the internet. So I do need to get some Starlink, don't I? Don't worry. It didn't work. I'm not going to... Clearly, I don't believe fat meat is greasy, do I? Because I was about to hook up the computer again. I'm not going to do it. So just, yeah, PropWire, filter it for pre-foreclosures and look right there. I should post a law office that had people going auction. I did. Okay, so y'all, it's so hard for me to like show y'all without screen sharing. But listen to me. There's another site, Reuben Lublin. I'm going to put it on Reuben Lublin. Somebody type this out. It's R as in Robert, U as in umbrella, B as in because I said so. RUBIN LUBLIN. Reuben Lublin. He's a trustee. He handles Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi. Yeah, y'all go look at all my other free. Y'all know what y'all can do? If y'all just really don't have nothing to do this week, go. There it is. Thank you, Jeff's Real Estate Diary. Reuben Lublin. He'll put up foreclosure property listings. You find the trustees. You find the foreclosure attorneys. They post the auctions ahead of time. A lot of time. He's a trustee. Yes. You can click on foreclosure property listings. Reuben Lublin already got auctions up for January. Already. Yes. Reuben Lublin. That's one. If y'all can follow me. Look, it's kind of hard for me not to be able to show you. But listen to me. I'm going to give you two different places. If you're on PropWire and you put in auctions, filter it by auctions or filter it by pre-foreclosures, scroll all the way to the bottom and it'll show you the foreclosure trustee or attorney. Scroll all the way to the bottom to their foreclosure information. If you filter it by pre-foreclosures or auctions, scroll to the bottom. It will show their foreclosure trustee or the attorney. Take that name and put it in Google and see if they have some other auctions, right? Those are the sites. That's a good way to find it. Boom. If you don't want to get on PropWire, you don't want to do that, go to auction.com. Go to auction.com. Put in whatever county, whatever you're looking for. If you click on a property and you scroll down halfway through that page, it'll say foreclosure information or foreclosure attorney. Boom. Click on that. And that will tell you a foreclosure trustee or a foreclosure attorney. Put it in Google. See if they got other sales posted. Okay? Boom. Reuben Lublin. That's another good one. Brock and Scott. BROCK and Scott. SCOTT. Brock and Scott. Y'all, these are people that I auction for. They are like legit attorneys. Brock and Scott. So I gave you Reuben Lublin. Y'all put it in the chat because y'all know some people. Brock and Rock with a B. Rock with a B. BROCK and Scott. SCOTT. That's another foreclosure attorney. A huge one is Logs. 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 LS. Logs. I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, Brock and Scott. That's an attorney. I'll try to send out an email. Logs. That's a good one because Logs handles a lot of states. I shared it the other day in my stories. I I can't do it because it ain't gonna let me. And we gonna disconnect from here. PropWire popped up. You guys, hold on. Logs.com. LOGS. My computer is working. Can y'all see that? Logs.com. Can y'all see that? Logs. Y'all, this is so ghetto. But y'all gonna learn today. Look, hold on. Logs.com. Click on sales. And then it's connected. Look, and then it went to you are not connected to the internet. Me doing too much. But logs.com, Brock and Scott, Ruben Lublin, what's the other one? Brock and Scott. I'm trying to think of all the people I auction for. Check those out. Check those out. So, but check those out. And I gave you all those other little tips. PropWire, you put in pre-foreclosure, scroll all the way down to the bottom, look and see who their foreclosure attorney is. Put that in Google and see if they have other auctions posted. Attorneys will post the auctions, especially Ruben Lublin. Especially Ruben Lublin. They will post auction. I think Brock and Scott got December and January posted too. Let me explain this to you real quick so you understand what I'm giving you. If you're new here and you don't understand how this works, let me explain this to you. When a homeowner gets behind on their mortgage, right, the bank is only going to call you so many times and say, where your money at, when you going to pay us. After 3 months, they are going to file over to the foreclosure attorney. The bank, Wells Fargo, and them like, we ain't got time to do that. But a lot of times the bank will give them that file way before the auction date. Okay? Way before auction date. Handling this, start running title on them, check and see if they got liens, find out if anybody's in that property. So they might say, here, Brock and Scott, this auction, don't auction it till January, right? Just get the paperwork going, see if you can make contact with them. Whoop de whoop. It's probably because I opened up the computer. Y'all, am I freezing and being choppy? Yo, I was doing so good. It was because I logged into the computer, isn't it, you guys? Let me know. Are we like, what we doing? How we doing, you guys? I'm going to plug the charger back in. Maybe that'll help us again. Skipping a little. Okay. So I'll make this quick and then we'll get off and everybody will go to sleep. Everybody will go to sleep. So the point is, they will give them the file and say, here, it's gone. I can see y'all's comments. Y'all, I'm gone. Am I gone, you guys? I can see y'all's comments saying, oh, Lord, here she go. Am I freezing? You can hear me and see me? You can hear me and see me? Gone. Back. I'm back. I'm gone. I'm here. I'm not here. I know I need to do something. Okay, I'm gonna get through this and we're going to bed. We're going to bed after this. I'm not gonna touch the phone at all. Whew. Okay, maybe it worked better when I got the headset on. Maybe it's sending out a signal. Okay, let me explain this and we're going to sleep. Okay, so like I was saying, the bank will give that file to the attorney way ahead of time. Like Wells Fargo will be like, here, Brock and Scott, auction this in January. However, it's October right now. But Brock and Scott and Ruben Lublin and logs.com will put these sales on their website, right? So what does that mean for you? That means you have a head start on all these foreclosures, right? Because the rest of the world is not going to know about it until 30 days before the auction, when they file that notice of default, let people know that the house is going up for auction. Okay? Go on Ruben Lublin right now and look at foreclosure sales, and he has sales already posted for January. I saw him January 7th. Georgia already got their auctions up. You can reach out to these people now and try to save them before they go to auction. Okay? So that's what I do. When y'all like, Ashley, who are you mailing? Who are you calling? Y'all, I'm calling these people who got auctions scheduled for a month and 2 months out before everybody gets to them. Because once everybody gets to them, that's when they have an attitude and they hang up. When Mildred hanging the phone up on me. Because everybody done already called Mildred. But if you can get to them first, we got this. You know what I mean? So, so it's the homeowner. It would be like a traditional sale, right? It'd be like if they were selling it for sale by owner to you. You make them an offer that sound good. And if you need to get a loan, and it's better if you can talk to the homeowner, because you can go inside of that property. You can look at it. You can find out what day they need to be out of that property, right? That's a better deal than buying it at the auction where you can't see the inside of the property. People still living in there. They're going to be mad when you knock on the door and tell them that you just bought their house at the auction. And at the auction, you need cash. When you come see me, you got to have the complete amount of money. If you talk to that homeowner and say, hey, I can close this in 30 days, wholesaler, 30 days to close it, you got time to get for sale by owner. Just a traditional sale. You can get financing. You can do an inspection, right? That's why agents even go after pre-foreclosures. You can list them and put them on the market, right? So for all of y'all who can't come to the auction, all you brand new beginners, reach out to these people who are in pre-foreclosure, okay? You can send them letters. You can cold call them, right? No onions? Okay, pull up. You know what I mean? That's what you can do. No, the frosty machine does not work. So that is what you get. No, it's my pleasure. I'm over here like I'm schizophrenic or something. But yes, and you can short sale. I short sold a property. It was a VA. That's the only reason it didn't go into foreclosure, because he was a veteran, right? And veterans, you can't foreclose on them. And the bank took $100,000 less than what it was owed. Okay. California. So look on logs. Who else handle California? Brock and Scott might handle California. Check Brock and Scott. What's another? Philip J. Jones. Philip Jones is another foreclosure attorney, trustee. Philip Jones, Brock and Scott, Ruben Lublin, logs. I try to trustees that handle a bunch of states. So check the on auction.com, scroll down to the foreclosure attorney. Prop wires, scroll down to the bottom, see if they have their foreclosure attorney, see if they got auctions listed. It's working. I could show you how to do it, but I had to talk your way through it. I had to talk my way through it. Okay. So you guys, hope y'all learned something in choppy, unorganized live that I just did for y'all. If you not come, I see that it's going out. We're going to bed, you guys. I'll be live again another day. I'm on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley at gmail.com. Subscribe and like to the channel, you guys. So, all right, you guys, have a good night. Have a good night. I will see you all soon. Wish me luck on cold calling, that I don't get hung up and cursed out. Good night, you guys. Have a good night. Bye, you guys. All the links are down below. Everything I have, all master classes, look down below. Good night, you guys.